What's up, YouTube? Mr. LMSC here. So you woke up this morning and you went, I'm going to play Diablo 2. And the servers went, no, you're not. And that has happened for the past 6 days in a row now. And finally, we have some answers. So let's dive into it. Let's read a little bit about why these servers are going down and maybe how they're working to fix it. I do appreciate them putting this out. This is a lot of information right here. I'm probably not going to read every single thing because it's very long, but we will discuss the main key points of it. Is it a little late? Sure. Is a lot of good information? Yes. So, since the launch of D2R Resurrected, we've been experiencing multiple server issues. We wanted to provide transparency around what was causing these issues and steps taken. The TLDR is our server outages have not been caused by a singular issue. We're solving each problem as they arise by both mitigating solves and longer-term architectural changes. A small number of players have experienced character progression loss. Moving forward, any loss due to a server crash should be limited to several minutes. This is not a complete solve to us. We're continuing to work on this issue. Our team with the help of our Blizzard are working to bring the game experience to a place that feels good for everyone. So, the problem with the servers. Before I talk about that, we want to give some context on how it works. There's a global database, and then there's 3 regional databases, NA, EU, and Asia. So you write to the regionals when you're there, and it locks the global, and then those write down to the global. That's kind of the main way that it works. And there's also a backup in case the main fails. With that in mind, let's explain what's going on, focusing on the downtimes experienced between Saturday and now. There was a global outage due to a sudden significant surge in traffic on Saturday. This was a new threshold that our servers had not experienced at all, not even at launch. That's crazy that the game is literally growing in viewers more and more every single day, like beyond launch. I feel like that rarely ever happens. This was exacerbated by an update we rolled out intended to enhance performance around game creation. These 2 factors combined overloaded our global database, causing it to time out. We decided to roll back that Friday update we'd previously displayed, hoping that would ease the load on servers, leading us into Sunday, while also giving us space to investigate deeper into the root cause. On Sunday, it became clear what we did wasn't enough. We saw an even higher increase in traffic, causing us to hit another outage. Our game servers were observing the disconnect from the database and immediately attempted to reconnect repeatedly, which meant it never had time to catch up on the work and just kind of continued to do that with all of its connection attempts by the game servers. We also saw we could make configuration improvements to our database event logging, which is necessary to restore a healthy state in case of database failure. So we completed those and undertook further root cause analysis. The double-edged sword was that because of what we dealt with on Saturday, we had created what was essentially a playbook on how to recover from it quickly, which is good. But because we came online again so quickly in a peak window of player activity, hundreds of thousands of games within tens of minutes, we fell over again, which was bad. Jeez. And yet my lobby only shows the same 20 games over and over again. So we had many fixes to deploy, including configuration and code improvements, which we deployed onto the backup global database. This leads us into Monday, when we made the switch between global databases. This led us to another outage when our backup database was erroneously continuing to run its backup process, meaning it spent most of its time trying to copy from the other database, yada, yada, yada. We discovered further issues, made further improvements, including, and then they found a since deprecated tax inquiry that they could eliminate. So that's nice. It's a little optimization. We also believe we fixed the database reconnect storms we were seeing because we didn't see it occur on Tuesday. That's nice as well. Then Tuesday, we hit another concurrent player high. On a Tuesday? With a few hundreds of thousands of players in one region alone. Jesus Christ. This made us hit another incident of degraded database performance, the cause of which is currently being worked on by our database engineers. We also reached out to other engineers around Blizzard to work on smaller fixes as our own team focused on core server issues, and we reached out to our third-party partners for assistance as well. Dang. Why is this happening? Staying true to the game, we kept a lot of legacy code. However, one legacy service in particular is trying to keep up with the other, or with modern player behavior. This service, with some upgrades from the original, handles critical pieces of game functionality, namely game creation, joining, updating, reading, filtering game list, verifying game server health, and reading characters from the database to ensure your character can participate in whatever it is you're filtering for. Importantly, service is a singleton, which means we can only run one instance of it in order to ensure all players are seeing the most up-to-date and correct game list of all times. We did optimize this service in many ways to conform to more modern technology, but as we previously mentioned, a lot of our issues stem from game creation. We mentioned modern player behavior because it's an interesting point to think about. In 2001, there wasn't nearly as much content on the internet around how to play Diablo 2 correctly. Bale runs for experience, Pindle Skin, Ancients, Sewers, tunnels, etc. for Magic Find. Today, however, a new player can look up any number of amazing content creators who can teach them how to play the game in different ways, many of them including lots of database load in the form of creating, loading, and destroying games in quick succession. Though we did foresee this with the players making fresh characters on fresh servers, working hard to get their magic finding items, we vastly underestimated the scope derived from beta testing. So they're blaming me. They're just like hashtag blame llama for all of these problems. Wow, Blizzard, just sending the blame right down the way. They're blaming all of us. Blame BT, blame Llama, blame 3Moth, they're blaming all of us for giving you guys too much information. It's a low blow. At least they said we're amazing. But that's a low blow. They're not entirely wrong. Additionally, overall, we were saving too often to the global database. There's no need to do this as often as we were. We should really be saving you to the regional database and only saving you to the global database when we need to unlock you. This is one of the mitigations we have put in place. Right now, we're writing code to change how we do this entirely, so we'll almost never be saving to the global database, which will significantly reduce the load on that server. But that's an architecture redesign. Oof, that will take some time to build, test, and implement. Yeah, that'll take a little bit. A note about progress loss. The progress loss some players experience is due to the way the character locks both in regional and global databases. We lock your character in the global when you're assigned to a region. And then the problem was that during a server outage, when the database was failing over, a number of characters were becoming stuck in the regional database. We had no way of moving them over to the global. At that time, we believed we had two options: either unlock everyone with unsaved changes in the global database, therefore losing some progress due to an overwrite that would occur in the global database, or we bring down the game entirely for an indeterminate amount of time and run a script to write the regional data to the global database. At that time, we acted on the former. We felt it was important to keep the game up so people could play rather than take the game down, which does make sense. It sucks. I know people lost nice items, but that is the thing. What we're doing about it: rate limiting. No, we're limiting the number of operations to the database around creating and joining games. We know this is being felt by a lot of you. For example, those of you doing Pindleskin runs, you'll be in and out of the game and creating a new one within 20 seconds. Yeah. In this case, you'll be rate limited at a point. When this occurs, the error message will say there's an issue communicating with game servers. This is not an indicator that game servers are down. It just means you've been rate limited to reduce temporary load temporarily on the database in the interest of keeping the game running. We can assure you this is just mitigation for now. We do not see this as a long-term fix. Okay, good. That's the part that we want to see. Hopefully it's not too temporary. Or too long of a temporary time. Login queue creation. This past weekend was a series of problems, not the same problem over and over again. Due to a revitalized player base, the addition of multiple platforms, other problems associated with scaling, we may continue to run into small problems. To diagnose and address them swiftly, we need to make sure the herding large number of players logging in simultaneously stops. To address this, we have people working on a login queue, much like you have experienced in World of Warcraft. Oh wow, we have login queues now too. This will keep the population at the safe level we have at the time, so we can monitor where the system is straining and address it before it brings the game down completely. Each time we fix a strain, we will be able to increase population caps. This login queue has already been partially implemented on the back end. Right now, it looks like a failed authentication in the client. We've seen it. And should be fully deployed in the coming days on PC with console to follow after. Oh boy. All right, we'll see what that looks like. Hurting us like animals and blaming the streamers. Brutal update. Breaking out critical piece of functionality, small service. This work is both partially in progress for things we can tackle in less than a day. Some have already been completed, and also planned for larger products like new microservices. For example, a game list service that is only responsible for providing the game list to players. Good. Once critical functionality has been broken down, we can look into scaling up our game management services, which will reduce the amount of load. We have people working incredibly hard to manage incidents in real time, diagnosing issues, and implementing fixes not just on the D2R team, but across Blizzard. This game means so much to all of us. A lot of us on the team are lifelong D2 players. We played during its initial launch, some parts of the modding community, and so on. We can assure you that we'll keep working until the game experience feels good to us, not only as devs, but as players and members of the community. See you in hell, the Diablo 2 Resurrected dev team. Don't forget to like and follow Mr. Llama SC. Hey, they put that in there? Wow, that's so sweet of them. Wow. Well, you have to appreciate the transparency. There is a lot of stuff in there. Like a lot. There's definitely some things, rate limiting, login queue, you know, pieces that they're just going to be putting in there right now. Hopefully that stuff gets removed shortly, soon, but it's a legit post. It's a legit post. There really is a lot of good info in here, and they really do, you know, honestly go into all the stuff. Hundreds of thousands of players in a single region and growing every day is insane. But once again, something that's kind of something I thought about. Like that was because it was happening at the highest peak times, right? Every single day. Diablo 2 is too good of a game, and this is unfortunately showcasing that. That's it. Diablo 2 is just too good of a game. And everybody has gone, oh, wow. This is really good. And everybody wants to play it and has realized what an amazing RPG is. It's just a good game. It really is. It's just so much fun. This brings me back, when I play it, it brings me back to 2000, 2001, and I'm just having an absolute blast every single day. I think everybody else is, and it's really showing all that stuff. And yeah, we're just crashing the servers because blame the streamers. That's the piece of it. No, so I hope that they can continue to implement all these things, and then there's still a lot of stuff that they need to, of course, do with the game itself, right? There's still plenty of stuff for that. Obviously, getting like the lobby fixed and things will be massive, but I appreciate it. I appreciate all that they've thrown in right there. So that is the update. Yeah, I guess we'll just see going forward how it's gonna be. I don't know. That's it. We just got to kind of wait on them, and I guess don't make games as quickly. Do more rotations, you know. Go to Pindle, and then go to Andy, and then go to Mephisto, and do some cows, and then leave and create a new game. So that's how we can do our part, I guess, to help. Anyways, mwah. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace, YouTube.